This is the Chiefs who have looked on form all weekend. Look, we haven't seen them play off the back foot like we have for Divine Mind, only because they haven't let anyone put them there.
And that's the crazy thing, right? It seems like these guys have never had to play from the back foot ever since they've set foot on this stage then, Momo. And I guess the question is, if the Direwolves come out swinging, start getting a few maps, is that when we start putting the question marks on the Chiefs, much like we have been on Divine Mind this past couple of days?
I really just can't picture the Chiefs on the back foot, especially how they're playing. Like, honestly, if there's a player that I expect if they're in the back foot, I reckon Beastn will really kick into gear. We haven't really spoken too much about Beastn, but I feel like he can be that type of player to like get you out of those type of situations, especially when you're down. I feel like he's kind of like an unsung hero. Yeah,
especially after seeing, his fellow, brethren in Benji being able to get himself all the way towards HCS Orlando. He wants to get in there as well, being an ex-teammate as well. But this is what our series is going to look like here, lads. Up first is going to be the capture the flag here on Catalyst. So before we start getting into this game, Panda, how do you feel like the series is going to pan out?
Look, I'll be honest. It's a weird dichotomy. Capture the flag on Catalyst has to be one of my favorite game modes compared to one of my least favorite, which is Slayer on Catalyst, because there are so many creative angles that you have to worry about while running that flag. Nothing is a guarantee. Going into this, we've seen the objective play. We've seen the Slayz come out on Slayz as well. So, I mean, this is a lineup of maps that Chiefs have the potential to shine on. All odds are looking like it is going to be a Chief victory. If Direwolves pull anything out, it needs to be here.
Let's see if they can get it done. Let's see if the Chiefs are going to drop a map here on the main stage, or whether or not they're going to go clean all the way into the winners final and all the way to HCS Orlando. We're going to leave it in the fine, capable hands of Justin and Bluey once again.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are indeed back, bringing you a game involving the Titans of the ANZ region, especially on LAN, if we've been witnessing, and that's the Chiefs.
Listen, excuse me, just catching my breath from that previous series. That was a banger, but is it going to be as a bigger banger than this one here? The Chiefs, currently undefeated, have not dropped a map yet, Bluey, so they certainly have something to prove. Then the Direwolves, they certainly have been rising to the occasion. They've struggled a little bit online, being from New Zealand, the time difference, the ping difference, but they're in a LAN environment now, and they've been proving that they can hang with the best of them. So launching into this first game, you have an undefeated team and a team that's rising to the occasion, and up for grabs yet another set of plane tickets and a big bag of cash all the way to Orlando.
You got to be careful here, Justin, as Direwolves are the ones on the back foot, especially on the prediction end, going up against the Chiefs right now, on board with Slayz as he rushes through that top skewer side. Vampt already managing to pick up a kill on BZIIRK, cross-map style. Madsy taking out balls at Vampt, another kill on his name. An aggressive play already coming out from the members of Direwolves as they know that against the Chiefs, they cannot stop on the gas.
They certainly cannot. They cannot give Chiefs an inch. Otherwise, they will capitalize on that. Chiefs have just been flawless this entire event, on board with Jordan from Direwolves, putting in some nice shots there, changing positions. He's got his mate there, and I saw a lot of red players from the Chiefs pushing in. Here they come, and Jordan holding down this portion of the map, cops a couple of shots up the rear end there, moving position, finds himself Slayz, but the Chiefs, first ones to get the flag moving. You got a little bit of a fumble there from BZIIRK. He must have sweaty hands, the pressures are getting to him.
BZIIRK, one of the biggest carries that we've seen before in the ANZ region, a history in Halo that spans back multiple games now, being the flag bearer for Chiefs, running in as quickly as possible. The calls would have come out that the members of Direwolves are starting to flank on their flag, but they are too slow for BZIIRK as he puts it in, leading this series, now one up in flags for the Chiefs.
Chiefs looking pretty deadly, already one onto the board. Direwolves not able to hold them back. Now with BZIIRK, Mr. Light Aim himself, moving up through Ivy. He challenges Vampt. Vampt able to get the better of him. A flag is out, switching over to the young gun from the Direwolves roster as he's going out, and Zerkil trying to move that flag, but Vampt being very patient, waiting for those Slayz. Beastn left alive. Will Vampt be able to take him out? And he goes down. Direwolves poised to get a flag moving.
Beastn providing all the support in the world for his teammates to be able to capitalize on. That flag is ever so close to being returned near the halfway point right now. And a disgusting out BR from Vampt onto Madsy. Got to be feeling that one.
Absolutely, and I love that the players are getting fired up. They're getting in the heads of the Chiefs guys at Vampt. That was a pretty sizable outcome.
Oh.
That bait and switch, that was textbook. Look up bait and switch in the Oxford Dictionary, and that play would have been there.
Even with 2 players facing down Vampt there, he still managed to put out a consistent amount of damage between the two, proving that even up against the Chiefs, Vampt is not a force to be reckoned with. We do see over on Skewer side, Madsy pushing up with another member of his team, but all the members of Direwolves right now have fallen back in their base to play on the defensive side.
Certainly do. Beastn from the Chiefs. Haven't seen a lot from him just yet, but he is 4 and 3, so doing work. Currently grabs himself a 5th. Doing really well. They're 1 up on the board, and 3 minutes into this game, Direwolves, they're not struggling, so to speak, but it just seems like Chief has the edge.
Chiefs indeed look like they are sitting pretty right now. Very confident in the plays that they're making. They do have Slayz in the back line trying to capitalize on that flag. Paul does manage to get taken out there, but he still drops at Ivy, making a considerable amount of distance. Beastn there picking himself up 1 kill down onto Jordan as he doubles back, taking as much cover as he can, but it looks like Vampt will be able to secure that flag return.
He does, and Beastn opting to let that one go. Now Bald's running the flag, the Kiwi Hope, trying to get Direwolves onto the board. Vampt still alive, shooting. BZIIRK, he tuck tails and run, and there he goes, he pounces on the top of Vampt. I think he didn't even notice the player dropped on his head because he got cleaned up by a teammate.
Well done stuff from the members of the Chiefs as they take down 3 members of the Direwolves, giving them plenty of space on the map to work with. Balls unfortunately goes down by the hands of Madsy, and now a flag pull once again coming out from the Chiefs as Zerkil takes one down in the back line.
He does. Slayz, he has been the star player this entire event, but he does fall. Direwolves showing that they can hang with him. Now Jordan, he's got that overshield. He's got the grapple. He's looking to close the distance. Get over here. He's coming after him. Able to take out Beastn, but he gets cleaned up instantly.
Jordan there baiting out his rotation with the OS, just popping the door enough to make sound, to make Beastn think that he was moving one way, doubled back to their veranda and fell on top of him. That OS providing some spongy damage for him as well. Time and time again, though, we are seeing members of the Direwolves fall. They're constantly having to play defensively and not getting much aggression out on the map at all.
Those shots from Slayz there. Just perfect BR shots. 1, 2, 3, 4. Back into the respawn screen. Now with Madsy moving that flag across the map. They're looking to close this one out. Perfect flag juggling, but does fall. Slayz alive right now, looking for Zerkil, able to take him out. Now he grabs that flag, it's on the move. Looks like Chief might be putting a second one on the board, but look at that. The Direwolves roster, they are holding the fort down. There's a lot of players there fighting that base. They're just waiting for Slayz to bring that flag in so they can capitalize. But the Chiefs, they're looking strong. Direwolves can't seem to stop them. Look at that, temporarily 4 dead. Zerkil the last one up. Surely that flag goes in, Bluey.
The offensive overextension from Direwolves did not work out in their favor. At the end of the day, you are up against the Chiefs. They are going to beam you with little to no, Evan. That's exactly what they did, really driving it home to the Direwolves.
Yeah, doing incredibly well. Look at the scoreline right now. Madsy, 14 and 9. Just so dominant, proving that the multiple players on the Chief roster can put up big numbers. And look at Zerkil. That's a game face if I've ever seen one. The scowl on this man moving through, hands off that flag, checking his back. He could feel that someone was coming after him. And it's like, nah, there's no one behind him. He has got balls to work with him. 2 kills in favor of the Chiefs. Zerkil caught out a little bit here, trying to back off Slayz. I like that he tried to stay alive, but here comes the OS player, able to get an easy return on that flag. Maybe a bit too cautious, maybe a bit too scared from Zerkil to run that flag, Bluey.
OS for Slayz, as well as being positioned up on that Skewer side, is a dangerous combination. BZIIRK making a pull for flag there. Unfortunately gets taken down as to 2 other members of the Chiefs, meaning that they are sent straight to the respawn screen and having to take a more defensive position, as we will now see a more aggressive push for the members of Direwolves.
Yeah, now with Vampt, gun. He's 13 and 11. He's got the grapple up to top mid, looking down the main ramp, looking for his next victim. Slayz off the respawn, but it doesn't matter. Vamp's got other ideas, changing positions, moving through gold, and he's just stalking. He's so hungry for it. He can't find any players. I'm building him up as long as possible. Finally finds a player. Beastn taken down, moving into the flag. Direwolves finally have a flag on the move.
Vampt looking to run this flag as far as possible, taking it out the commando doorway, over to Skewer side. Doesn't have a lot of oppression here at the moment, but he does come face to face with BZIIRK. BZIIRK throwing out those plasma grenades, trying to secure a sticky kill, but unfortunately doesn't connect either of them. There's going to be a lot of support coming out from Direwolves right now as we see one member from Direwolves, I believe it's Jordan, still in their base, but their flag has been pulled.
The faith in his teammates there, he rallied that flag back and then he dropped it and it's like, boys, I'm dropping the flag, I'm going after it. And that's what you get with these pro teams. There is complete faith. This isn't matchmaking. You can go after that flag and then the return, that flag is left alone. BZIIRK, he has to get the touch on here. Oh! And the killing spree, poised to take it over. Here comes Madsy. He wants some. He goes in. Will he be able to get his mitts around that flag to grab it and reset it? Here comes Jordan from Direwolves. Reversal from Madsy, and he's got that flag moving. I mean, that was a lovely flag run from Direwolves, but the Chiefs responding strong.
I could see the cogs turning in Zerkil's head. He was going to make such a decisive play, but unfortunately, if you're going to come face to face with players of Divine Mind in that way, you have to have the stronger gun. In that instance, you are outmanned, you are outgunned. BZIIRK right now trying to savor that flag as much as possible. Two members of the Chiefs go down. Balls right now in the base, making sure that he can capture enough ground for his teammates to push up and support him. So much pressure from Direwolves coming out right now.
Yes, Balls, he's got to get a reset on that flag. That timer is starting to count down. Now, Madsy running that flag. Balls perfectly placed grenade to take him out, but Beastn comes up with the cleaner, getting his mitts around that pole. Now, the Chiefs, they are poised to slap in another one onto the podium. They are 2 up. Direwolves have to stop this flag if they want to keep their hopes alive.
Direwolves right now feeling the pressure of the back burner. 3 minutes remaining on the clock. A lot of moves need to be made right now as 2 more kills go in their favor. Vampt looking to play for his life as long as possible, playing for that return. It does in fact get returned just before the touch can be made. Zerkil right now on the hunt. He knows Madsy is there, member of the Chiefs, needs to outgun and has the support in the world. Direwolves put a flag up on the board. We are now 2-1.
They're 2-1, and Vampt has got another flag moving very cautiously though. Maybe a bit of a bait flag, applying the pressure. BZIIRK getting the better of him in that exchange here. The Chiefs, they've been pretty commanding so far. They still have a 1 flag lead, but Direwolves showing up. They're turning up. They're not going down without a fight.
Indeed, they are not. Direwolves still have plenty of steam left in them for this series. Balls right now taking a pick onto Madsy. 2 members of Chiefs are going down. This is advantageous for Direwolves right now. Plenty of pressure they can apply, but a nade comes in, unfortunately taking out Balls. Beastn taken out as well as Vampt pushes in from that position. But right now, BZIIRK is playing for the OS, and this is the absolute tide turner on Catalyst. So powerful this piece of equipment is.
This could be the thing that could be Direwolves undoing, allowing BZIIRK to grab that overshield. He got away with it cleanly. They are having all the chips stacked in their side right now. BZIIRK, he just ran into the base pretty freely too. Running that flag with the OS, he can just absorb so much damage, and he's got Beastn at his back, holding him, and they're able to take down Zerkil. Zerkil doing pretty well there, but 2 BRs is better than 1. Direwolves, Jordan trying to hold them back. Chiefs looking very, very strong. There's a minute 17 left on the clock. Direwolves need to stop this flag and get one moving for themselves.
Only about a minute left on the clock here, and Direwolves are in need of a miracle, facing the absolute titans that are the Chiefs right now, especially on land. We were talking about it before, how clean this team has managed to look with their performances so far, undefeated here at HCS Melbourne, and they are looking to prove that, keep that title to their name.
They do, and BZIIRK, lovely juggling all the way back to the flag. He can juggle, but he ain't no clown on land, that's for sure. 2-1 up, 40 seconds to go. Flag standoff situation. Can Direwolves clutch it up and take game number 1, or will the Chiefs close things out? It's 30 seconds left on the clock. It's do or Direwolves, Bluey.
The intensity on Madsy's face right now, you can tell what the Chiefs are thinking. They just need to get in that base as quickly as possible. Unfortunately, Madsy loses out that dual boards, still in hold of the flag, looking to take as much intel away from the Chiefs as possible. But so many members of the Chiefs are just looking to play defensively. Single picks are all they need so they can break the line that Direwolves has on the map right now.
Yes. 4 seconds left. That countdown timer is going to run out. However, the flags are out. Sudden death has started. Direwolves in a lot of trouble. You can tell that there's pressure on them. Beastn, last man standing, taking things out. Madsy with the double kill. He may have just secured them the win in this. Overshield is up. Looks like it goes in favor of the Chiefs. Sudden death situation. Direwolves, this is your last chance. Rip that cord on your parachute or death do you part.
Last chance for Direwolves right now. The clock has stopped. We are in sudden death at the moment with the flags being still out. Bald still holding the flag, just trying to keep as much information away from the Chiefs as possible as to where they're actually holding it. Clutching it into his palms with dear life. Madsy missing the shot in the skewer. Decisive kill that would have been. Looking around right now, chasing the member of Direwolves. He can sniff out Vampt as much as possible. BZIIRK in the backline picks up a double kill. That's a huge disadvantage for Direwolves right now as Madsy's going to go in. The no-scope with the skewer, cleaning up the other members of Direwolves, and they are looking to return this flag, placing it in and ending this game 1 to the Chiefs.
Yeah, 1 to the Chiefs. No pop-off. They are all business. Yes, they dominated that game and they secured it, but the fiery, passionate guys over on the Chiefs, they're like, that's one map. We still have work to do. We have to stay composed because we are having a perfect record this event. Their words.
Cool, calm, and collected they are, but the Chiefs know that they still have plenty more work to do. The Direwolves in that particular match made them work for that victory. They weren't pushovers by any means, and it's actually kind of surprising considering what we've seen come out from the Direwolves. Facing against the Chiefs right now, there seems to be a confidence that the Direwolves roster is exuding.
They really are. Yes, the Chiefs was able to close that one out, but it was 2-1 and it came down to a sudden death situation. And I believe that if Direwolves were able to get that last flag, momentum may have shifted and it may have been enough wind in the sails to close things out. But nonetheless, the Chiefs, they're the ones that are going up, first up in this series.
Absolutely dominating from them as well, and it's a very tough position for Direwolves to be put in, particularly in that map, because of how quickly the Chiefs were on top of their base, had their flag, and ran it. And of course, when you have members of the team like Madsy and Slayz just putting in the work, getting so many kills back-to-back over and over again, just being so aggressive on the map and just never letting up, it was so difficult for any member of the Direwolves to be able to react appropriately.
It really was, and the Chiefs, they were just all firing, right? They were all monstrous, and the Direwolves doing really well to hang on. But I mean, some might say the Chiefs, they're so strong, Direwolves are kind of playing at a level above what we've seen so far. At what point do they run out of gas and can't keep up anymore?
It's a stamina game right now, isn't it? Because all of these players have had to play so much Halo collectively today and over yesterday as well. And we saw, you know, bits of those stamina burn out from the Direwolves very early. And we've seen it as a pattern before, especially in opens and supers. They're here on land, though. They don't have the New Zealand time difference, which they are constantly getting a debuff from. So that is incredibly fortunate for them. They are indeed performing, especially up against the Chiefs. You know, a lot of people would have predicted, the desk even predicted, that it would be just a complete and absolute gutter stomp. But in that game in particular, Direwolves are still putting up a very, very strong fight.
They certainly are. And the Chiefs, giving them the respect that they deserve. They're not taking any chances. They want to play perfect Halo, very disciplined Halo, which is what you want to see. Because even if you're confident in your own individual skill, when you have a high-seeded team that just throws away the playbook and goes, you know what, I'm better than these guys, that's when they stumble. That's when they're vulnerable, and that's when they can be taken out. But the Chiefs, they are looking solid.
I do fear for the Direwolves, though, as we go into map 2 shortly. We have Slayer on streets, and It is a map that we have seen time and time again the Chiefs prosper on over and over. They have such control over them. One of the best teams, I think, to use the Stalker rifle because you have Slayz, you have BZIIRK, you have Madsy, you know, Beastn as well. All of them are absolute gunners, and as soon as they get their hands on something that can decimate you in a matter of 1 second, 3 shots, and that's the kill, you know, you have no way to react. Sure, you can team shot all you want, but when you have the coordination, the team shot that the Chiefs does alone, what kind of position do you put yourself in?
Yeah, I think key to victory, as you're kind of alluding to there, Bluey, is the weapons on the map. The Direwolves, guys, they need to maintain them throughout if they want to challenge the Chiefs here, launching things off with BZIIRK as he's putting some lovely shots down through the guts of the map. That rocket's about to pop, but does look like it's scooped up by someone. Slayz has already secured himself a kill.
Slayz secured himself a kill, but Zerkil was the first one to put a number on the map. Using that red grunt, lobbing a nade over to Arcade side and getting a nice little kill onto Madsy, shutting him down near immediately off the break. Right now, Direwolves the one in the lead. 2 up currently in this Slayz. Vampt in the background secures a kill on Madsy. A trade out between 2 players as well. 2 kills up, consistent lead.
Consistent lead so far. Jordan from Direwolves looking very steady right now. 3-0 currently. 2 kills the difference between these 2 teams, but it is early days. BZIIRK hiding on that back A. Sneaky box goes down. Vampt diving down from heaven like an angel, but he falls down into hell. Now Zerkil checking on the plants and the tires, and he falls as well. The Chiefs clearing them out, and they've tied things up.
Tying things up. Direwolves still plenty of fight, not folding off of the break and consistently putting out guns and showing up. We see Beastn right now locked onto Caution side, sort of doubling back into PD, but Jordan in the backline picks up a kill onto Madsy. Balds as well performing in his own right, but a double kill for Slayz before he gets shut down top mid by a grenade.
Yes, he does now with BZIIRK. Look at, I mean, it almost looks like the camera is frozen because he is so locked in and steady. His game face is certainly on right now. 11-14 in favor of Direwolves currently. However, Chiefs looking very, very strong. BZIIRK shooting some shots down across from Arcade, being very cautious, making sure he's not giving up his life needlessly, able to take out Vampt with a little bit of help there. Now some cross-map shots, he's peeking around, and I love this from BZIIRK. He's not giving away his life needlessly, he's just putting damage down, and Madsy secures himself a double kill.
You can see on the board there, Madsy currently in possession of the Stalker rifle, or the red gun as a lot of players like to call it. Immediately swapping out for Slayz as he falls down. Slayz pivoting himself, trying to get an angle on this player that was shooting him in the back. So much pressure is able to come out from the members of Chiefs right now as they're making these consistent rotations, making sure that they always have a team member with them to follow up on the shots that they may miss. 2 guns coming at you at the same time is an intimidating factor, but Slayz running in, picking himself up a kill there onto Vampt, shooting his shot onto Zerkil as well. 2 members of Direwolves go down, and we are seeing the Chiefs make a defining comeback.
Slayz, he was just beaming right there, wasn't he? Putting damage down on multiple players. No business getting a trade in a 2v1 situation there. Vampt finding himself a double kill. Triple kills there! And he scoops it up, looking for the over. It doesn't matter. 3's enough for him. Here's the over. Look at these players in the cafe serving up some bullets from their BR for Vampt, shutting him down.
Vampt right now on the board of Direwolves, 12-8, putting up big numbers in this Slayer game, absolutely destroying the Chiefs, stomping their morale into the ground. You know, a player like Vampt is one that when he gets on the roll, he is just so hard to shut down, especially playing consistently with his boys on the Direwolves. He's got all the support in the world to put in the work and get those numbers up on the board.
Absolutely, he does now with Madsy, the shark, the street shark moving through, tearing up the asphalt. That Spanker's about to pop up. There looks like he has his eyes on those. Blood in the water to grab that one, and moving on through into B. Then he targets Bald. He's got helps from Slayz. Easy collapse with his best bro there, moving on through, using the pillars. Zerkil, see you later. And now BZIIRK has scooped up those Spankers, and look at this Chiefs collapse. I'd be shaking in my booties if I saw that coming.
Zerk with the rockets connects one. Bulldog in the back pocket as well. Can do plenty of damage, both with that. Gonna cap the thruster now to close any distances that he needs as the rotation comes out as they cleared out Tram. Now looking to double back into PD. Takes out Vampt as well. Bulldog in hand as Beastn cleans up that kill. So much damage coming out from the Chiefs.
Yeah, BZIIRK. He was so confident there. He just charged up the street. He didn't take the safe angle. Nah, he went straight in, guns blazing, so confident. Thrusts away there, Madsy with the cleanup, and BZIIRK looking so strong. But Bolts somehow managing to skewer that kill. Madsy responds and grabbing that Bulldog for himself.
Chiefs just rotating back and forth from either side of the map. They have the spawns of direwolves down on lock right now. Direwolves just seem to be caught in a trap that they cannot escape from. They're like helpless flies with their wings plucked, and there is not much that they can do.
The Chiefs, they're hungry for it. They want to get another map onto the board. They want to punch their ticket to Orlando. Direwolves, the dream is starting to slip through their fingers a little bit here. 42-30. That scoreline is pretty massive. The Chiefs looking dangerously strong, Bluey.
Dangerously strong indeed. A consistent theme that this team has been playing with all throughout this entire weekend so far, and they keep doing it time and time again. Any team that comes their way, they're going to make sure that they know that they are number one in the ANZ region. Slayz right now, kill after kill falling in his favor as he just lurks around Pink Street, uncontested, but right now 2 members of Direwolves spawning back A will make sure that they flush him out.
Yeah, and Slayz there, although they're so close, the scoreline is so massive that they could close it out. He was still valuing his life. He wasn't throwing it all away. He was going, until that 50 scoreline is hit, I'm playing like it's neck and neck. And the Chiefs looking dominant. They are 1 map away. Their perfect record intact, and they're on the cusp of punching their ticket to Orlando.
Chiefs, unsurprisingly, taking that Slayer game without breaking a sweat, really. You could just see with how much control they had over the map and how much control they had over the members of Direwolves. Once again, Direwolves were stuck in a trap. They were in the blender, back and forth, back and forth. There was nothing that they could do in that situation except hope and pray that they could outgun them, maybe make a break, sort of cause a rupture in the momentum that the Chiefs had built.
Oh, I got a feel for Zerkil there, 3-12 or 3-13 or whatever it was, definitely lagging behind there. But Madsy, look at that, 2 double kills, killing spree, perfect shots, 15 and 10, certainly showing up for the Chiefs guys. And they're 1 map away from punching their ticket, Bluey. I mean, they look so dominant right now. It was a different story with the series that we saw when it went all the way to Game 5, and this is just one-sided in comparison.
1 map away indeed from being able to lock this down, and honestly, I want to see the gusto from the Direwolves come out. We saw that they're still putting up a fight. They still have fuel in the tank. They can bring it to the Chiefs, but they just need to reach in and pull out that old style Direwolves that we saw in the beginning of Halo Infinite. They were such a consistently strong team. The roster is even stronger now with a member like Jordan. Of course, Vampt, the numbers that he's been putting up today have just been absolutely damaging.
They need to fire up, Bluey. I think you're exactly right. They're on the main stage in Margaret Court Arena. Biggest LAN event in ANZ Halo history. A plane ticket to Orlando up for grabs. They've got to want it. They've got to want it in their hearts and in their guts. They've got to get the fire burning. But it looks like the flame of the Chiefs is just a little bit hotter at the moment.
Direwolves right now are definitely pushed up against the wall, and the Chiefs have full control over them right now. Justin, what do you think the Direwolves can do at the moment? What kind of changes in their playstyle they can make? Obviously, the Chiefs being a very aggressive sort of hold forward type of team. The Direwolves, do you think they have it in them to counteract that?
They've got to work together. I mean, if you could look at any team of who did it best, I think Kit Bash is a really good example of they committed to things as a group and they were able to overpower teams that are arguably better than them and more talented than them, but they made things happen and had lots of close games. Direwolves, they got to get that pack mentality. I mean, the lone wolf dies, but the pack survives, and that's what Direwolves needs to do if they want to keep their series alive.
Absolutely, Justin. We are going into potentially the last game for Chiefs unless Direwolves want to turn this around. Strongholds Recharge. There is a lot of work to do, but Vampt might just be the man to do it, picking himself up a double kill from the break.
And from the break, and that shock rifle up for grabs too. Doesn't scoop it up, concentrated on the camo, clears out Slayz first, and now a player up in his face. Beastn right there. Will he get the better of him? And he needed to reload. Beastn staying alive. He's fired up, Bluey.
He is indeed taking down Vampt, the strongest, arguably the strongest player on the Direwolves roster right now. It gives the Chiefs so much room to work with right now. Taking up a top gold position. Beastn just looking down for his teammates. Game has slowed down quite considerably if they've got Direwolves locked down into an A position, and the members of Direwolves don't even seem to be pushing pipes right now, but they do. Two members go in. Madsy looking to lock it down with the shock rifle, but takes so much heat from that grenade. Has to double back, communicate with Beastn how weak he is. Does manage to land a kill right there onto Zerkil as he drops from Battery's platform. Vampt right now challenging him. Can he connect with that shock? No, Vampt is the one that comes out on top.
I mean, Vampt, he's doing everything that he can. He's challenging multiple Chiefs players, hunting them down. Beastn very weak, but BZIIRK, the bros are going in together. Will Vampt be able to get it? No, trade situation. BZIIRK left alive. Triple cap in effect for Direwolves there, so those points will be racking up.
Direwolves, even all that exchange where they sort of didn't come out on top in it, still are coming out on top points-wise as they have a triple cap in effect. You can see two members of Direwolves going down, but it takes so long for the members of Chiefs to sort of rearrange themselves around the map to capture these points that Direwolves are coming back in a strong way.
Yeah, a little bit slow, but they still make it work there, Blue. Now have two strongholds, so those points will be pointing up towards in their favor. Oh, touching that A stronghold too. Maybe looking towards that triple cap. BZIIRK going down, switching over to Zerkil. Had a bit of a slow game last game, but now he's going positive too. Grabs himself another. He's locked in. Look at that scowl on his face in the face cam.
Chiefs right now capturing A, looking for that A and B hole. Points now ticking up in their favor as the members of Direwolves look to break in through bottom A. Zerkil right now coming face to face with Madsy. Plasma grenade comes in. That was an enemy plasma grenade actually. Taking out all his shields and health, managing to keep himself alive there. Hits the shock rifle shot, but unfortunately not connecting with the head.
Yeah, and Bald's shutting down. Slayz there, Madsy moving through. The Direwolves hanging on right now, but their series life is on the line. If they want to head to Orlando, they've got to take control of this game. The Chiefs looking icy cold. They're so close to closing out their series, but they're not popping off. It's business. They have a job to do, and right now they're giving the Direwolves the respect that they deserve. They just want to get the W.
Chiefs right now looking to make a play in order to give them plenty of room to be able to capture these points. Unfortunately, it is points falling in the hands of Direwolves, but a stick from Beastn ensures that he is trading out from the grave. Right now on board with Slayz, he's sending nades down into Whirlpool. The ping comes out as Jordan is located in gold pipes. Going to peek out from Battery Plat. Madsy takes out Zerkil on the side. Balls and Slayz meeting each other face to face. Beastn taking down one as well. Two members of Direwolves go down and two members of Chiefs down as well. Make that three. Direwolves seemingly coming out on top in this A point.
Yeah, Madsy doing well. He's been very patient push. Jordan last alive in the elevator. Madsy in a little bit of trouble here. He's ducking, he's weaving, his shields are flashing, and he's still alive. Then his shields charge up, pushing into A, clearing things out. Two players down on Direwolves. Zerkil desperately trying to stop Madsy from securing that stronghold. Comes in, gets a reset. Madsy goes down. Zerkil showing up 8-4.
Zerkil defending the A point with his very life. Now challenging BZIIRK and gets assistance from Balls over on B plat. B still held by the Chiefs as we do see Balls go over there trying to capture it himself, but he's faced with some adversity from Beastn as Madsy comes up onto the Battery's platform as well to provide some support. Vampt locking down Slayz, Zerkil locking down Beastn. Shots go down onto BZIIRK, and it looks like BZIIRK is the one to come on top of that duel as he jumps onto A plat looking for a capture.
Certainly does. Jordan from Direwolves 6-5. Plenty of points on the board as well. BZIIRK, Slayz grabbing themselves kills. Direwolves Direwolves 3 down. Zerkil last alive. BZIIRK going to be able to get this A stronghold uncontested. They're racking up points. Direwolves, they are in the lead right now, but it does seem like the Chiefs are in control. They are setting the pace and choosing when they want to collapse.
If Chiefs can make one big play, clearing out the members of Direwolves right now, looks like they're going to have this map on lock. So much damage coming out from BZIIRK. 2 kill assists back to back, locking down Vampt as well. BZIIRK is on a tear right now, heading over to B. They're looking for that triple cap.
Certainly is. BZIIRK put damage into 4 players there. That was just ridiculous. His assist stats are going to be through the roof. And the Chiefs, they're poised to get a triple cap. Zerkil with the reset, but it's not going to matter if you're in the respawn screen. He's just going to recap it.
Indeed he will. A nice little dance going on between 2 players there, but Balls is the one to come out on top. Beastn takes down Vamp over on A point, and he also has the cross-map support of Madsy providing shots from top A. Nice little shot from Beastn there, long range, looking to line up Jordan as well. Doesn't connect that shock rifle. We see a small reset come out, plays, and a quick switch, killing spree for Beastn.
Beastn, what a beast he is, lining up that shock rifle shot. So patient, so calculated with every shot. You can tell that he's holding those angles and he's lining them up perfectly. Hits the body shot onto Zerkil. Zerkil running away for his life. Ball's coming in, steps on a grenade on the way past and getting the trade to that stick from Beastn. What a play.
Chiefs scoreline now climbing up and matching that of the Direwolves, slowly overtaking it point by point. The Chiefs seem to have this map on lock as they're just making gentle rotations here and there. Notice that they're not pushing C all that much because they want the members of Direwolves to be locked in that position. It's such a hard point to get out of. You have no high ground. You have to push gold if you want to make the plays. Unfortunately, when Chiefs have shooters like Slayz, it's going to be very difficult to do that.
Direwolves, they had the lead, Bluey, and it's completely disappeared. The Chiefs have taken over the game. If they win this, then they secure their spot to Orlando, and Direwolves goes down to the elimination bracket, and they're starting to fire up. Zerkil doing what he can to keep his boys alive. They are capping multiple points now, scoring for the Direwolves. It's going to come down all the way to the wire, Bluey.
A triple cap right now in effect for Direwolves. The C has not been fully captured by the Chiefs. The points are ringing up quickly, but 3 members of Direwolves go down. Zerkil being the last alive, trying to make a rotation here for gold pipes, potentially clear out Slayz from the B point. But already, just as he peaks, he is taking shots. Weak has to back down. The nades come in as well.
Yeah, I like Zerkil's intent there, Blue. He was just a little bit too slow. Almost there. Chiefs so close to closing things out. Direwolves, they're hanging on by a nail of their paws, and he goes down. Slayz clearing him out of gold, using that grapple to launch himself through the pipes. It could be all over very soon. Triple cap in effect for the Chiefs. 200 points, 50 to go to close things out. Direwolves, a desperation cap. They've only got 1, but that isn't going to stem the bleeding if they want to keep themselves alive in this series, Bluey.
Chiefs looking to blow this game out of the water as soon as possible, shutting down Direwolves. They want this to be done. Slayz on B point now with the shock rifle, not connecting those shots though. He's looking to go into Whirlpool, push these players down on the camo boxes, but we have Beastn following up on the kills that weren't cleaned up before. 3 members of the Chiefs go down, and all of a sudden, Direwolves are the ones with bodies on the board.
They do, and Direwolves trying to cap strongholds. They're on B, they're trying to flip things over in their favor, but the Chiefs' pressure is just right there. Direwolves trailing by 60 points, but the Chiefs responding by jumping onto B. BZIIRK watching over his teammate Beastn there, finding himself 1, does manage to get it. That B stronghold still alive. Direwolves racking up the points. They're not going home just yet. They want to win. The Chiefs, they're having a hard-fought battle to close things out.
Madsy, briefly the last one alive on the Chiefs roster right there, capturing A, calling out to his teammates where the members of Direwolves are. We see Balls locked down right now in top gold, making a rotation over to Grapple. Gets taken down before he can salvage his life. 3 members of Direwolves locked down in bottom control right now. It's going to take a hell of a lot of damage to fish them out as they make the rotation over to A, hoping to shut down the time ticking up from the Chiefs as quickly as possible.
Direwolves have put up a monstrous fight. However, the scoreline is quickly escaping them. They're down 0-2 in the series, the Chiefs. 2 Strongholds racking up the points. That 250 is right there. It's so close. They have one finger on it, not the entire hand just yet. Here comes Beastn. They're collapsing. They might just punch their ticket to Orlando. 2 Strongholds in their favor. The Chiefs, they're going to do it. They're going to have the perfect record, but the Direwolves, they're holding on. 250, and the Chiefs, they take it and they punch their ticket to Orlando.
Chiefs take it away from Direwolves. A damaging play all round for the members of New Zealand team. Their hopes quickly shut down for today and sent down into the elimination bracket. The Chiefs, Justin, how powerful is this team? The ANZ Titans, the powerhouse.
They are unbelievable. They are the Michelangelo of Halo teams. Flawless in every aspect. Have not dropped a map. And all those pre-game interviews, they're all we're not going to drop a map. We're not going to drop a map. And everyone's like, yeah, okay, you're not going to drop a map. But they have not dropped a map, Bluey. They've just been flawless this entire event. The Chiefs showing up and proving perhaps they are the best team in the region.
We saw confidence from the Chiefs throughout the Pro Series, throughout the Open, sort of waning a little bit, but it seems like getting them all together back on LAN has been the absolute difference maker here for these players. Huge plays all around coming from each and every one of them individually, but as a team, you just have to look in awe.
Absolutely. And the stat lines on some of these players, Beastn in that 20 bomb club there, and plenty of hill time too. He just got in there, got things done, and he won so many game fights. 5,200 damage from multiple players on the Chiefs roster. They were just dominant that entire time. Beastn, 2 perfect shock rifle kills, double kill, a killing spree, and a couple of sticks as well. This man was just racking up medals.
The Direwolves roster during that Strongholds game, there were so many moments where they had such fight, but at the end of the day, it seems like the wipes would come in from Direwolves. They would take out members of the Chiefs back to back. There would be one member of the Chiefs alive, and it seems like that one member would just say, all right, boys, respawn, slow it down. We got control. We have this. At no point are we going to falter.
100%, Louis. Nail, head. Smashed it. That's exactly what happened. They would get wiped out and they wouldn't phase them. They went, you know what, boys? That's just 8 more seconds that we have time to plan our next play. And they would respawn, they'd work as a squad, and they'd lock things down so composed.
You love to see the execution from the Chiefs boys. You know, it's something that we saw not long ago. We would talk about them open after open, super after super, how strong this roster was, and then all of a sudden, it's like they faded away a little bit. They needed time to recompose, readjust to some of the roster changes that had been made for them, but now they are a force to be reckoned with. They are so dialed in, and you could see, I mean, it was even made comment, every time it was on Slayz' camera, it looked like it was frozen, but it wasn't, because he was just so dialed into the game the entire time. A murderer the man is.
Oh, look at that scoreline. I mean, the Catalyst, it was kind of close, Yeah, a little bit. I mean, Slayer, domination. Recharge, smacking. They just destroyed that entire time, the Chiefs. They've shown up. Direwolves, they put up a good fight, but I think, when does the conversation switch from Divine Mind being the best and the Chiefs? I think we should have it, Bluey.